And at one point, John, he turns to me and he says, "What are boobs for?" I said, "Breastfeeding." He said, No, I mean during sex." I said, I don't know, I think the guy like rubs them together, maybe like sucks on it. Why are you asking me this? And then we're both staring at each other. He's staring at me and I'm staring at him. And we're in the middle of Bourbon Street as strippers half naked are dancing and flashing their tits out the windows. So I was like, well, this is 26, I guess. Yeah, but I'm the wrong person to ask for those kinds of questions. I honestly have no idea how to touch myself, okay? I'm lazy. Every Cosmo article is like, you should learn how to touch yourself so you can teach your man how to touch you, okay? I never had the patience to learn. The TSA has a better pat down than I do. And I'm Catholic, so anytime I do anything remotely pleasurable, I feel extreme guilt. So I have to work fast before the guilt sets in. It's kind of like this. I'm like, all right, here we go. Let's do this. Am I overthinking this? No, we gotta do this. Okay, there's no Yahoo answers for this. Oh my God. Wait, the guilt is coming! The guilt is coming! Damn it, I have to go to church. All right. That's typically what happens. And so we got back from New Orleans and I was thinking, as a comedian, I'm always worried that I don't have enough material, that I haven't lived enough yet to know what the fuck I'm talking about. And like a true Asian parent, my friend was like, live faster and hurry up with that next show. Well, I'm happy to say that over the past 2 years, more shit has happened. And so 2 years ago, I quit my job. And the immediate catalyst for that decision was something that happened in my personal life. I had worked up the courage to tell a friend that I liked him, and we had been friends for several years already. And to me, it was a will they or won't they flirtation, and to him it was they won't. So I found out this out the hard way. We're drinking at a friend's birthday party, and I cornered him outside. And keep in mind that I tower over this guy. I have a solid 4 inches on him, so I'm looming large, giant but feminine. And I let out a deep breath and I said, I know that you're a single bachelor living in New York or whatever, but I'm getting more than friends feelings. And he's nodding, and then he says, I thought so. I do not feel the same way. And it cut pretty deep when he said, I do not feel the same way. But it was funny to me how vehemently he denied it, and so I started laughing, and then he's laughing nervously too, and he asked, what's wrong? And I said, nothing, but in my head I said, I'm free. And I was reminded of this Thai horror movie. Now, I love watching horror movies because it's the only way I can easily get aroused and not feel guilty about it. So, in this Thai horror movie, there's an invisible demon that sits on the shoulders of the protagonist, and he can't see it until he takes a selfie in the mirror. And similarly, I felt like I had identified what was holding me back, and now that I had, I could just let it go. That's mature me talking in the future. Roselle, at the time, was super pissed, okay? Roselle, at the time, her attitude was more, be gone, demon bitch! Be the fuck gone! Go hunt someone else. So I'm not proud of it because I was very immature, and I realize that now. And I also think it's funny that people think that was my initial reaction. Like, come on, no. It was Sherman's March to the Sea. Burn all the crops. But actually, the worst part happened later when I was recounting what happened to one of my good friends. And, I was ranting and raving and foaming at the mouth. And then she's silent the whole time until I finish talking. And then she says, it's hard for me to believe you. I said, well, what do you mean believe? And she said, Rosella, I know your history, John and Kyle and Mark, and yeah, there was Mike, but he was the outlier, and everyone else, they like guys. I said, okay, first of all, I don't appreciate that you call the straight guy the outlier. Second of all, not being believed cut me 1,000 times more than the rejection itself, because my evidence wasn't strong enough. And then she said, I know that he doesn't like you because I asked him, and all of us hang out together, and I would have noticed something, but I never noticed anything. So the upside to feeling like shit was that I felt like I had nothing else to lose, and that's when I quit my job. Yeah. It was good timing because I was also in the mood to disappoint my family. So I quit my job, and it was almost like a dare because so many people were like, "Don't do it, Roselle. Don't quit. You're gonna regret it." And I said, "How much?" And then I quit, and I said, I did it, I won poverty and regret. So the job that I quit was at a luxury travel agency, and our clients would pay $100,000 membership fees and $10,000 yearly retainer fees. And that's not even the trip, okay? That is not even the trip. You know you have too much money when there are 9 zeros involved in travel and you have not moved a single ass cheek. So this job too, it's not like the clients didn't have time to plan their trips because a lot of them were stay-at-home wives of multimillionaires. So their full-time job was to be paid all the time, 24/7. And I just didn't want to solve rich people problems anymore. I quit right before my birthday. So it had gotten so bad that at that point I was like, I'm either turning 25 or I'm ending it at 25, so let's go. And at the time I was living in an apartment in Brooklyn with my friends, but I had to move back home. So we were deciding on another roommate to live with then. And my roommate Jinju, she wanted to live with another girl because she wanted the comfort of not having to wear a bra at home, right? For girls, that's a huge priority. Finding roommates you don't have to wear your bra around. And my other roommate, Jonathan, he was like, you girls don't wear your bras at home? I said, no, Jonathan, we don't wear our bras at home. He said, oh, like when? Like right now, Jonathan! Like right now! Free my nipples, okay? So, not working 9 to 5 is great, but the hard part of unemployment is losing your fucking mind, right? I don't think people realize that. Because your self-worth evaporates. And your identity is tied to what you do. So if you're doing nothing all day, it's not long before you think, I am nothing. And you lose your health insurance at a time when you need quality care the most. I don't have a joke because that's a fucked up shit. Like, someone give me health insurance. And I lost all dignity when it came to networking. If we had only a tangential connection, I probably asked you for a job. And I was like, this is how I network. Oh, hey! Remember when we used to volunteer at the Queen's Botanical Gardens 1,000 years ago? Yes, you remember me? Give me a job! Give it to me! I need it now! Or, hey! Remember when we used to take Intro to African American Literature together? Yeah, that was a good class. anymore. Give me a job, please. Truthfully, I wasn't doing nothing. I was still like figuring out what the hell I'm doing in comedy. So I was making news videos like John Oliver and realized, yeah, he cornered that market for a reason. I tried to write a sketch packet a la SNL, and I was like, this is not fun. And I even tried to write for that NPR podcast, the Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, but I also realized that that wasn't for me. So it was a lot of trial and error. And so I needed some time to like get away from all of that, and so I escaped to the Philippines with my mom, which was nice because I hadn't been back in 10 years, not since my dad was alive. And it was good bonding time too, because my mom and I do not get along on a day-to-day basis. Our relationship can be described like this. One time I found out that she was born in the year of the tiger, and I was born in the year of the monkey. And in the Chinese zodiac, tigers and monkeys are mortal enemies. So, I'm not saying I believe in astrology, but nothing has ever made more sense to me in my entire life. So we're in the Philippines, and we go ziplining for the first time. And my mom, she insisted that we go together, but I was telling her, no, Ma, I want to go alone. You'll be fine. I'll be right behind you. And she said, no, please, let's do 10, let's do 10. I don't want to go alone. Please don't leave me. And that's why I'm like, Ma! I'm an adult! You gotta go by yourself! And she's like, and so at this point, everyone's looking at us, and I look bad, so I can't. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever done tandem ziplining, but